Have you ever had a dream that felt more real than real life? Maybe you were falling through the empty air with no way to stop. Maybe you were trying to run away, but your legs felt heavy and you could not move. When you wake up, your heart is beating fast. You look around the dark room and you quietly ask yourself, why did I just see that? What if those dreams were not random? What if your brain was trying to tell you something without using words? Welcome to the Slow English Zone. In today's listening practice, we are going to explore the secrets of your dreams. We will look at what happens inside your mind when you sleep and discover what your subconscious is really trying to tell you. So, find a comfortable place, take a deep breath, relax your mind, and let's improve your English while we uncover the mysteries of the night. Stay with me, because today's story might change the way you think about every dream you have ever had. Let me tell you about Emma. Emma was an ordinary woman living in a busy city. She had a stable job, good friends, and a routine life. Everything seemed perfect on the outside, but on the inside, something was missing. And her mind knew it before she did. Every few nights, Emma had a strange dream. In the dream, she was walking through a massive, unfamiliar city. The streets were gray and silent. She was looking for something, but she did not know what it was. She felt lost, deeply lost. She would walk up to people on the street and ask for help, but no one answered. They just walked past her, like she was a ghost. Then, she would find herself standing in front of a large, beautiful wooden door. She knew, with absolute certainty, that she needed to open that door. She reached out her hand and turned the handle, but the door was locked. It would not move. Every single time, she would wake up at that exact moment. Her hands would be cold, and a strange feeling of sadness would heavy her chest. Emma did not think much of it at first. She told herself, "It is just a dream. It means nothing. I probably just watched a weird movie or ate too late." But our minds are persistent. When we ignore our waking thoughts, our subconscious speaks louder in our sleep. Weeks passed, and the dream did not go away. In fact, it started happening every single week, sometimes twice a week. The details were always exactly the same cold, gray streets, the same silent people walking past her, the same heavy, locked wooden door, and always that same intense feeling of anxiety and frustration. It became a pattern. Emma started to feel afraid of going to sleep. She wondered if she was losing her mind. She asked herself, why does my brain keep showing me the same image? Why can I never open that door? One morning, after waking up from the exact same dream for the 10th time, Emma decided she could not ignore it anymore. She realized her mind was repeating a message. It was like a bell ringing in the dark, trying to wake her up to a reality she was avoiding. Have you ever experienced this? A dream that returns over and over, like an unsolved puzzle? To find the answer, Emma had to look beyond the surface. She had to look into the world of psychology. For many centuries, humans believed that dreams were predictions of the future. We thought they were magical messages from the universe, telling us what would happen tomorrow. However, modern psychology tells us something different. Dreams are not predictions. Dreams are reflections. When you sleep, your conscious mind rests, but your brain does not turn off. Instead, it begins to organize your memories, your experiences, and most importantly, your emotions. Think of your brain as a busy office. During the day, you receive too much information, too many feelings, and too much stress. You do not have time to process everything. So, at night, the office goes to work. Your brain takes all those disorganized feelings and tries to make sense of them. But the brain does not use logical language to do this. It uses symbols. In psychology, stress often appears as a physical weight or a chase. Fear becomes a story. Unfinished emotions, things you wanted to say but didn't, or problems you avoided return to you while you sleep. Let's look at some common examples. You may dream about being late for an important exam or a flight. This usually does not mean you will be late. It often means you feel pressure in your waking life. You feel like time is running out, or you are afraid of failing someone's expectations. You may dream about falling into a deep abyss. Psychologists suggest this happens when your life feels uncertain. Perhaps you are facing a big change, like a new job or a breakup, and you feel like you have no control. You may dream about losing someone you love. This rarely means something bad will happen to them. Instead, it often reflects your own fear of change, or a feeling of distance that is growing between you and that person. Psychology does not give us absolute rules for dreams. Everyone's mind is unique. But one thing is clear: your dreams are deeply connected to how you feel when you are awake. And that was exactly what Emma was about to discover. Emma began to look closely at her life. She stopped asking, "What does the locked door mean?" and started asking, "What am I feeling in my real life that makes me feel trapped?" The truth was hard to face. Emma had been working at the same company for 5 years. At first, she loved it, but over time, the job changed. She felt unappreciated and exhausted. She wanted to quit and start her own creative business, but she was terrified of failing. She was afraid of losing her steady income. So, every morning she forced herself to go to work. She pretended everything was fine. She hid her unhappiness from her friends, her family, and even from herself. But she could not hide it from her dreams. Suddenly, the mystery was solved. The massive, lonely city in her dream was her current life. The silent people who ignored her represented how lonely she felt with her secret unhappiness. And the beautiful locked wooden door? It was her future. It was her dream of starting a new life. The door was locked because she was refusing to unlock it. She was holding herself back because of fear. The dream was not a curse. It was a mirror showing her the truth she was trying to run from. Emma took a deep breath. She made a choice. She did not quit her job immediately, but she started taking small steps. She began studying business in the evenings. She started saving money. She opened up to her friends about her true feelings. A few weeks later, she went to bed. She found herself in the gray city again. She walked up to the large wooden door. But this time, she did not feel afraid. She felt ready. She reached out, turned the handle, and with a soft sound, the door swung open. A bright, warm light poured out, washing over her. Emma woke up with a smile. And from that night on, the dream never returned. You might wonder, why do these stories in our sleep feel so incredibly real? Why do we cry, laugh, or scream in our sleep? Science gives us an interesting answer. When you enter the deepest stage of sleep, your brain is actually highly active. In fact, some parts of your brain are just as active as when you are awake. The emotional center of your brain works very hard during this time. It generates powerful feelings of joy, fear, or sadness. At the same time, the part of your brain responsible for logic and critical thinking becomes much weaker. Because your logic is turned down, your brain accepts everything without questioning it. That is why impossible things feel completely normal in a dream. You can fly high above the clouds, you can talk to animals, you can walk through solid walls, you can even meet your younger self and have a conversation. Your mind creates a whole universe. And because logic is asleep, you believe every single second of it. Your brain creates the ultimate theater, where you are the writer, the director, and the main actor, all at the same time. Maybe your dreams are not trying to predict the future. Maybe they are helping you understand the present. Every dream is like a quiet, honest letter, written by your own mind, sent directly to you. It speaks the truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable. So, the next time you wake up from a strange, vivid dream, do not just brush it away. Do not just ask, "What did I dream?" The real question to ask is, "What am I feeling right now?" that I haven't noticed? Listen to your mind. It knows you better than anyone else. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Slow English Podcast. If Emma's story made you think about your own life, please leave a comment below. What is the strangest dream you have ever had? Do you think your mind was trying to tell you something? I would love to read your stories. If you enjoyed this peaceful journey, please hit the like button and subscribe to Slow English Zone for more stories. Keep listening, keep learning, and let English become a natural, beautiful part of your daily life. See you in the next episode. Sleep well and sweet dreams.